So it's not that you can't make the intangible tangible. You actually totally can, but it does take you deciding that the things that you're deciding are tangible, are powerful, that they're good enough, right? Like you're telling yourself, I'm a mindset coach, I'm a life coach, I'm a relationship coach, you know? You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, and today we're going to be talking about how to make the intangible tangible so you can sell with more certainty. Because there is this rumor in the online space that I want to put to bed, and that's the rumor that if you have these intangible results, it's going to be so hard for you to sell your offers, and that it's so hard for you to make money when you're a life coach, a relationship coach, blah fucking blah. And I just think that this is bullshit. And the reason why I want to put this to bed is because you can always make something that is seemingly intangible into a tangible result. When you know how to do that, you can truly sell anything. You'll sell with more conviction. You'll sell with more certainty. You will truly believe that people are going to pay 5 figures for this kind of work. It's never actually about the fact that people don't pay for this or people don't pay for that. Like, it really does come from, first of all, the excitement and the certainty from the person who is selling the offer. If you do not think that it's important, if you do not think that the work that you're selling is important, you're not going to be able to sell anything. Like, even if you do sell money, even if you try and switch things up and say, you know what, I'm going to sell money, I'm going to sell tangible results. If you're not fully in with selling the results that you offer, if you're not 100% into the work that you do, if you feel like you can't deliver on that work, that's a whole other conversation from last week that you should listen to. I don't care if you're selling the hottest commodity ever. You are not going to be able to sell it. It is not going to be effective. It's not going to get you the results that you want because your certainty is what sells your offer. When I was first starting out, I was strictly a mindset coach. I had an offer that flew off the shelves, and it was my intensives because I got certified in neuro-linguistic programming, hypnosis, and EFT, and I really utilized those tools to talk about imposter syndrome, belief work, and really believing that your dreams were possible. And in the sessions, we would do so much. We would talk about using your voice. We would talk about being confident in yourself. We would talk about trauma. We would talk about tons of different things that really contributed to somebody's success. I worked with people who were in corporate, I worked with entrepreneurs, and the focus was never around, we're going to make you more money, we're going to increase your strategy, we're going to do all of these things. It was actually never about those things at all. It was actually about the fact that I really saw the importance in overcoming imposter syndrome. I really saw the importance in having a very clean attitude, a very good mindset with whatever you're doing, right? I often would see it as like clearing the blockages, clearing the blocks that were in the way to helping my clients get whatever it was that they desired. I was starting to hit 4 figures a month and then 5 figures a month, not even really talking about money at all, not talking about strategy at all. I was strictly a mindset coach, and I have made multiple 6 figures from just being a mindset coach, and it really wasn't until 2023 when I realized that I have a lot of success in selling these offers. I'm really good at content, really good at helping my clients make lots of money and sales and build relationships with their audience. I had all of this experience, so I transitioned into implementing some strategy, and I actually love the strategy side of things. Like, I really do love talking about content and messaging, how you can facilitate a sales conversation to convert. I'm really good at that stuff. And I think about when I used to work for the government. I used to work for the police, which I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about before. And some of my favorite jobs in the organization were extremely technical. So I did a lot of stuff around research, doing statistical analysis, and tons of different things that utilized a lot of my technical skills. And in the business, when it comes to the admin stuff, like, I actually love doing that shit. Like, I love doing like the workflows in Dubsado and all of that kind of stuff. It just itches my ADHD brain, you know? And I love doing tasks and checking them off. I love managing my money, you know, like, I've really turned it into something enjoyable. I have spreadsheets and everything like that. love a good color-coded spreadsheet. Oh, so good. But what I'm trying to drive home here, getting back on track, is the fact that I was able to make a lot of money even without having super clear, tangible results attached to my work. Even now, a lot of the time, I sell my offers and have conversations with people based on things that aren't immediately tangible, that aren't immediately satisfying, like money and clients, even though that's exactly what I sell. I do sell results in your business. I sell how to sign clients. I sell making more money. I sell growing your business. There are also so many things that I sell that are not related to all of that in terms of overcoming imposter syndrome, growing your confidence, really becoming the CEO version of yourself, actually being the CEO version of yourself that has an effective business, that creates bomb-ass content, etc. So, of course, you can say that all of these things lead to making more money, like they lead to clients, etc. But what you're not realizing is that you are just seeing the ease that comes with connecting the intangible to the tangible when it comes to owning a business. So even though you hear me talk about overcoming imposter syndrome and growing your confidence, you make the connection that it's going to lead to growing your business, to making more sales, to signing more clients. But I also make that connection for you. I just don't stop at you're going to overcome imposter syndrome, right? That is the tweak that we're going to talk about. So you're saying, I'm going to help you get more confident, but what is going to be the result of getting more confident? Of course, getting more confident is a result, but can you connect it to so that and turn it into an even more tangible result? So not only is somebody hearing you say you're going to get confident, they're also hearing you say you're going to get so confident so that you can walk into a bar and go up to the hottest guy there and introduce yourself. You're going to get so confident that it's going to be a no-brainer when somebody reaches out to you to be on their podcast or to be a speaker. You're going to feel so good about delivering that speech. You're going to feel so good about getting on that podcast. There's going to be no imposter syndrome and no fear whatsoever. Okay, so what we're doing here, we are talking about some kind of outcome from the result. And I can tell you that all the healing I've done, all the work that I've done on myself, like, let's take something kind of personal, okay? I have a good relationship with my dad. I am a daddy's girl, but it's also because I'm very similar to my dad. My dad is a boomer, and he was, I would like to say, emotionally stunted. He's a great father, but when he was younger, like our parents, I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, our parents were relatively young when they had us. They were still developing. And, in a roundabout way, my dad had some anger issues. He's so much more calm now, but he didn't know how to handle his overstimulation with having children, with having 3 small children, and he had some anger problems. He definitely passed these anger problems on to me. So I have ADHD, he has ADHD, which he didn't realize that he did until I got diagnosed, right? I'm easily overstimulated. I get frustrated easily. And I didn't know how to manage my emotions, okay? And then I got into a relationship with my husband in high school. We started living together, and all the growing pains of growing up and living together at a young age, being together for a long time, and I used to be very quick to anger. I was very quick to be frustrated, annoyed, overstimulated, all the things, right? And I honestly felt a lot of shame around it and felt like I didn't have control over how I felt. But the healing that I've done and the work that I've done because of being in the coaching space has helped me to be such a regulated, calmer human that can manage my emotions. When something happens, I don't need to react to it right away. I am so much nicer. I am so much more calm and peaceful. I'm almost never stressed, even with somebody who has a diagnosed anxiety disorder, which I actually recently just got off my meds, so yay me. The work that I've done on myself and the mindset work, the somatic work, the nervous system regulation work that I continue to do on myself makes me a better fucking human all around. And you cannot tell me that that is not a clear result in terms of you're going to be so regulated that you're not going to react quickly and snap at people anymore. You're going to be able to recognize your emotions without turning it into a story and then spiraling. You are able to, even if you have been diagnosed with anxiety, you're going to be able to not ruminate over situations, to not let your OCD, your ADHD, your stress, and your anxiety rule your fucking life. So again, all of this to say, I just got really real there telling you guys that I have anger issues. Also, I'm an Aries. So I'm also a double fire sign, right? Yeah. I'm an Aries sun, Scorpio moon, Sagittarius rising. So that's a double fire sign, okay? So I'm spicy, I'm fiery. Pair that with the ADHD and man. Anyways, I want you to hear how like people want these things, and it is your job as the person running your business, as the person selling your offers, to communicate that as clearly as possible. Don't give me this bullshit that you can't take something that is intangible and turn it into a tangible result, because you have to see that there are tons of scenarios that are going to come out of the work that you do with your clients. If you're having a hard time understanding that, I want you to think about it in terms of rocks and stones. And this is a way that I describe to my clients about the big impacts that your work has and the small impacts that your work has. So think about it as a big stone and a little stone, okay? You're skipping rocks in the water, and think about the ripple effect that a big stone is going to make. Something like mastering your messaging, something like really growing your confidence is going to have a huge impact on your potential client's life, on your life, etc. But the smaller things are important too. The smaller things like learning how to do something technical inside of your business, or learning how to show up on camera and the confidence that that requires, or even something so small as having the consistency and the motivation to schedule your content. This is something that I teach clients, and it seems like it's the most basic fucking thing possible, but I'm so big on scheduling content because of the ripple effect it has on your confidence. How you don't have to think of something new every single day because it's already scheduled, and you're going to use that creative energy someplace different. There are a bunch of really huge repercussions and really small repercussions from doing something as simple as scheduling your content. And this is an example of the ripple effect that I know that the work that I do with my clients and the things that I teach my clients have on their lives. And it's up to me to actually learn how to describe those scenarios. If you're having a really hard time with this, think about your potential client's day and think about the things that they're doing throughout their day and what scenarios they're going to come up against during a normal day or even during a holiday or something like that. So for example, I have a client who is an emotional eating and intuitive eating coach, and I think about some examples she could use, like examples on holidays, special occasions, stuff like that. Examples of when you don't have anything to eat and you're like, oh my God, should I just order something? And it's always more than you actually need, etc. And again, if you're having a really hard time thinking about those tangible things, think about the so that you can tack on the end of the result that you're already saying and go deeper with what ripple effect your work is going to have on your client's life. So you'll get more confident, you'll organize your money, you'll learn how to adopt healthy eating habits so you can go to a restaurant and choose something that sounds yummy, but also helps you reach your goals so you don't go home and binge, right? Like really think about the scenarios in place that you can put into your messaging, that you can weave throughout your messaging and throughout your sales process so your potential clients feel heard and seen. Because the thing is, if you're calling yourself an expert, if you're saying, I help you do blah, 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 you also need to learn how to be an expert in understanding their mind, understanding their thoughts, understanding what they're going through on a day-to-day basis and what it is they need. This is something I hear constantly from my clients that come into the From Imposter to Empowered program or come into the mastermind. They always say, it feels like you're in my head, Jill, because I'm so good at describing examples, scenarios, and experiences that my potential clients are having. Even if it's just a thought process, even if it's just like I'm having the thought of blah, 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 it's still playing out. That thought process is still playing out. So not only do I talk about the thought process, but then I also talk about what that thought process is impacting and how it's holding them back, how it's stopping them from doing X, Y, Z. So do you see what I'm doing here? Are you picking up what I'm putting down, right? Like that when you get really clear on the ripple effect of your work, you can take something that is intangible and make it tangible. Another way that I would describe this is chunking down. So if you're certified in neuro-linguistic programming, then you will recall this information. Whenever we are making things more abstract, more vague, and covering more ground, that is the process of chunking up. But the process of being more specific, of really zeroing in on things, is the process of chunking down. So again, if you need a visual other than the ripple effect that the big stones and the small stones have, then I want you to think about a funnel and think about every time you go to describe a result of your work or the effects of your work, chunk it down a little bit more, move down the funnel, get more and more specific. Is there an example you can plug in here? How can I be more specific? Is there an experience I know my potential client is having that is going to be relevant to this result? So for example, if I were to talk about helping my clients overcome imposter syndrome, I would not just stop there. I would say something like, you want to stop opening Instagram and swiping over to start a story and thinking to yourself, what am I going to say? You want to stop going to share a client result or going to share something about you and your work and feeling like you need to tone it down. And see how I'm not only describing the feelings or the thoughts, but also the actions of opening your fucking phone and going to do an Instagram story. Because I know, because I've been there, because my clients have been there, because I'm a good fucking coach and I pay attention. You should be able to call out these things. You should be able to speak to them. And if you feel like, oh my God, I don't have any examples at all, yes, you do. You just need to think of them. And if you've even had one free client, you have examples of this. If you yourself have gone through the thing that you're helping your clients with, which is like a lot of coaches or online service providers who sell certain things, then you do know the experiences inside and out. So all of this to say, it's very important that you're paying attention to your clients and your potential clients, and you're taking in information. I always do intake forums when somebody comes into my world, whether it's the From Imposter to Empowered program, my mastermind, my one-to-one coaching, whatever it is. I make sure to get them to fill out an intake form so I have all their information so I know how to best serve them and best coach them. I have the language that they're using to describe their struggles and the things that they desire so I can create better content for that, and so I can continue to be the best coach possible because I have an intimate view of what my clients are experiencing and what led them to decide to come and work with me. So it's not that you can't make the intangible tangible. You actually totally can, but it does take you deciding that the things that you're deciding are tangible or powerful, that they're good enough, right? Like you're telling yourself, I'm a mindset coach, I'm a life coach, I'm a relationship coach. People don't really give a shit about having a super healthy relationship or healthy communication with their partner. People don't really give a shit about a healthy mindset or healing their nervous system. But that is your job. That is your job, to get them to give a fuck. So if you don't give a fuck, it's going to be really difficult for your potential clients to give a fuck, right? Like I just sold a masterclass. It was one of my most profitable masterclasses that I've ever sold. It did so well. I'm so obsessed with it. And it was on fucking consistency. And anybody can sell consistency and it'd be so boring, but I made it not boring. I was so hell-bent on teaching this topic and so certain about it, so confident about it that it flew off the shelves because I'm certain about that teaching. I know how important having consistency in your business is, and it goes so much deeper than consistency, obviously, than just taking action every day, right? It goes so much deeper than that. And because of my own certainty, because of my connection and confidence in the topic, I was able to sell that offer so easily. You can truly sell anything with conviction, with confidence, with certainty. You can make the intangible tangible. Okay? I love y'all so much. You know where to find me. Instagram at your coach Jill. If you want to work with me, you can do so in the From Imposter to Empowered program or the Real Deal Mastermind. The From Imposter to Empowered program is for you if you're looking to create those 5K bare minimum months, if you're somebody who doesn't have consistent income, if you're like I have a lot of imposter syndrome around selling and showing up and you're still trying to be consistent and you're trying to lay that foundation, then you're going to want to be in the From Imposter to Empowered program, where you're going to overcome imposter syndrome, you're going to learn how to show up consistently and confidently without giving up or burning out, and you're going to create 5K consistent months in your business, and that is just the beginning. And if you're going to the next level, if you have 4-figure months, but you're stepping into 5-figure months, if you want to feel like that big fucking deal in your industry, if you want to master your messaging for your offer, solidify your offer suite, make the hottest content, be spicy as fuck, and turn your 4-figure months into 5-figure months, then you're going to want to come into the Real Deal Mastermind. Wherever you're at in your business, there is a seat for you, and I'm so excited to welcome you in and change your life. Okay? Love you guys. I will see you in next week's episode. Bye. Hey babe, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Screenshot it and put it on your stories and tag me at your coach Jill. And if you really love me, you'll rate and review the podcast. And if you screenshot it before you submit the review and send it to me, I will send you a free gift on me. If you want to take this work deeper, come and work with me in the From Imposter to Empowered program or the Real Deal Mastermind. And finally, if you want just a snippet of my work to feel what it's like to be in my world, then you need to buy my best-selling book, You're Not Special, and you can get that on Amazon. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next week.